What's going on, Infinity TV? You already know me as DJ Treese, and I am back here at home court, y'all. The Sparks are back playing the Seattle Storm, and I got a new guest with me.
What's
we let
up?
Michael Matthew have his birthday off. You already know Anwar on par. Welcome to the show.
What's up? Yeah, if you think Michael got taller and a little more handsome, don't adjust your screens. I'm a new guest, but no, shout out to Michael. Happy birthday to him. I'm glad to be here taking his place. I won't take his job just yet, though.
Hey, Anwar, we love to have friends on the show, so we appreciate you coming through. Now, we got the Seattle Storm. The last time we just played them, we had a double overtime playoff preview. Everybody thought I was crazy when I said the Sparks would keep up with the playoffs, but we just saw them keep up with the best of them.
Absolutely.
Let me know your thoughts on today's matchup and how it's changed.
I don't know what to make of the Seattle Storm. It's like they've beaten Minnesota, they've lost to Minnesota. They've beaten the Sun, they've lost the Sun, right? They can do anything against the best or the worst teams in the league. And, of course, they've beaten the Sparks right here in this arena, and they've lost to the Sparks, like you said, in that OT matchup. So anything can happen. I'm looking at, Duncan Dominique, Malonga warming up, right? Skylar Diggins, lots of vets, a lot of mix of talent going on. So this is a huge, huge game for the Sparks, especially a back-to-back coming down from the Bay Area, gritty dogfight defensive matchup they lost. But, hey, 8 out of the last 10 ain't so bad.
We can't be mad at it. And you know what? We got Sparks legend Nneka Ogwumike back in the building. Last time we saw Nneka, she dropped 37 on us, right? We're hoping that is not going to happen tonight because they have the addition of Brittany Sykes.
Yes.
From your opinion, Anwar, what do you think Brittany Sykes adds to the Seattle Storm mix?
I mean, it's younger. It makes them younger. It gives them a point guard that can score, facilitate, things like that. I mean, everybody loves Leisha Clark. I mean, she's, a great and all-time type of player. But the Seattle Storm really wanted to make sure that they were pushing for the playoffs, getting younger, getting somebody that can facilitate for the team. Teams are doing whatever it takes to get to this playoff push because 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they're all right there. I mean, heck, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all the way right there as well. So they're doing anything it takes to make the playoffs, and I think it's going to be interesting watching her warm up, Brittany Sykes behind. It's going to be a really interesting matchup against LA today.
And we had a chance to talk to Coach Lynn before the game, so we're going to throw it to the press conference to see what she said about Brittany Sykes.
Hey, Coach, it's DJ from LA Sparks Weekly. Quick question. In regards to Slim, now that you're talking about her, what's the balance with playing Seattle Storm since they're so fast now with speed and efficiency?
What do you mean balance?
So, which would be more important? Seattle Storm plays pretty fast. Are we just trying to play more athletically and keep up, or are we slowing the game down?
Oh, girl, you know me. We're not going to slow the game down. They got to keep up with us. That's my mentality. So, no, we're not going to try to slow it down. Seattle's very good in transition, especially off of turnovers. So, whenever we played them, last week, we did a good job taking care of the ball, and so we held them to their lowest points per possession in transition of the season. So it's got to be a concerted effort, but we're at our best when we play fast. So that knife cuts both ways. They've got to defend us.
Thanks so much, Coach.
You bet.
Jackie on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, back-to-back games is a little rough, and you've always talked about turning the page. What do you want to see from the team mentally as they go into tonight's game?
Toughness. This is what the league is, and everyone goes through it, and no one's going to feel sorry for us, including me or them, or ourselves. We've got to be locked in. This is part of playing in the WNBA, and is it hard? Sure. Is it a reason to not give it your all? Not at all. So, not looking to give us any excuse to not be our best in terms of effort and execution. Last night we ran into a really good defensive team in Golden State, and then we just shot it really poorly. And it wasn't like, there's just one or two people, it was everybody. And you play 44 games, it's going to happen. And so we've got to turn the page, and, the way we score it, I don't anticipate that being an issue today. But you've got to find other ways to win, but in regards to the back-to-back, we've got to be tough.
Hey, Coach. I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about Kelsey's playmaking. I know during her intro press conference, she said she had a goal to be top 5 in assists. I think, now that we're more than halfway through the season, she's actually top 3. Just how have you been able to kind of tap into that part of her game and just kind of unlock that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, for her it's a learning curve. When she was in Vegas, she was not the head of the snake. It's Asia Wilson, right? And she was ready for the challenge to be the guy. And she's taken that head on, but it's a learning process, right? And so I think she's learned that when she's creating for others, it opens up things for her. And I think you saw that like in the Connecticut game. I think she only had 1 field goal attempt in the first half, and then finished with 18 and scored some big buckets in the fourth. And that's exactly what your best players should do. Get everybody else involved, and make sure we're kind of flowing, and then when they need you, you step up. So I think she's done a tremendous job. She's very smart, very self-aware, is able to say like, yeah, I should have done this better or that better. But at the end of the day, she's supremely confident because she's put in the work. So it's going to be a continued work in progress, just in terms of learning how to be that. But I think she's done a tremendous job.
Justin.
Hey, Coach. Because this is your guys' first back-to-back of the season, do you anticipate possibly kind of tinkering with minutes for players just to make sure that they're not running up against a wall like they could on the second night?
Yeah, I think so much of substitutions and as the head coach, a lot of it is feel. By this point, you know what your players look like when they're starting to get tired. And I think a key, when you win in substitutions, when you take them out before they hit the wall, right? Before it looks like they're running with the parachute pulled. Like, take them out before that. And so, we'll see. These guys are incredible athletes, but, in a perfect world, yes, we get to our bench probably earlier than normal.
Hey, Coach, against Seattle, less than 2 weeks ago.
Whenever it was, yeah.
Nneka had 37 points. When you look back at film, what do you see from her performance that day that can kind of help, you guys tonight? And then my second question, for KP, you talked about how she's super smart and she doesn't buy into schemes when she doesn't, believe in them or understand them. What is her presence on the bench like? How does she make you a better coach? What is she saying on the bench? Is she an assistant coach?
Yeah. Okay. In regards to Nneka, I think we need. Nneka's one of the all-time greatest players ever in this league, and she is just so good and cerebral and athletic and strong. We need to clean up our ball screen coverages. A lot of them where we were out of rotation, rotating the wrong way. She sets a lot of ghost screens, and we were in a coverage when we didn't need to be, and that left her open. So we've got to clean things up on our ball screen coverages. That's where she's getting a lot of points. You're not going to hold Nneka to 0, right? But we've got a limit. But we certainly can't give her 37 again, right? So, we've obviously not a lot of practice time, but, in film and talking about it, we've come up with some things there. And then in terms of KP, what is she like on the bench? Opinionated, but I love it. It makes me better. So, we'll banter or have conversations, but at the end of it, she's always 100% in. So she'll challenge me, but not in a bad way or a disrespectful way, but just kind of wanting to understand. To your point, like if she gets it, she's all in. So it's kind of like having a coach out there, and strong people need to be around strong people. So she's a strong person, so am I. I think it works really well.
Justin, last question.
I know every team does deal with back-to-backs. You guys have had to travel back home on this one. The one later in the month, you have to travel to Seattle. With the nature of the back-to-backs in the league, obviously it's a byproduct of an expanded schedule and teams coming in. Is there anything you would like to see adjusted with back-to-backs, whether it's maybe both games are at home for the team that's on them or anything else?
I'm not trying to escape this question. I don't know enough to have a good answer there. This is my first year in the league, so I don't like having opinions if I'm not super educated on it. Playing home back-to-back certainly seems like it would be better, but I'm sure there's complexities to it that I don't understand. So, ideally there aren't any back-to-backs, but I know that's not realistic, so we just roll with it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you guys.
LA Sparks Weekly fans, you just heard what Coach Lynn said. She said that we are at our best when we play fast. The Seattle Storm is known for that. Anwar, do you think we can keep up today is my question.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a team that has scored 100 points in 5 of the last 6 games before the game against the Valkyries.
Absolutely.
If there's one thing the Spars can do is score, and they can score at home. They want to keep up the pace, and I like to see a fast-paced game. It's some entertaining basketball happening right here at Crypto.
That's right, and I'm hoping for no overtime today. But before we end the show, Anwar, let me know, who is your player of the game today?
I think KP is going to have the team playing fast. So I think this is going to be a great vintage Kelsey Plum game. She's going to get her little step back. She's going to get that Euro and then stop and then get the lay, you know what I'm saying? So I think she's going to have a great game today. It's the vets, it's the champions, it's the folks that have been there before that know, okay, we only got so many games left, and they're going to step up in the biggest moments. So I think KP's going to have a great game.
All right, Anwar's got KP. I got De'Erica Hamby, y'all. She's reliable. In moments like these, you got to count on Mama D. I'm expecting her to have a double-double, at least triple-double. She's played against NECA. She's practiced against NECA. Also, Lexi Brown. All of the stars on the Seattle Storm, she's had a good run with. So I think that De'Erica Hamby is just going to show up and show out. Give us those good 40 minutes. Hopefully she don't have to play the whole 40, but at least an effective 30. So LA Sparks Weekly fans, this is us beginning of the game. Hopefully the Sparks can get the win. We can continue to make our playoff push. Like Anwar said, 6, 7, and 8 are pretty stacked for playoffs, so every game matters. Let's go Sparks. We'll see you after the game. LA Sparks Weekly fans, the Sparks got the dub 94-91 against the Seattle Storm. We've got Anwar on par right here. Welcome back to the show, y'all. Anwar, we were in here. I lost my voice a little bit because I was going crazy hollering. What was your reaction to this game today?
First of all, my blood pressure is up, so I need to visit a doctor very soon because these cardiac sparks, let me tell
All the
you,
time.
I mean, every game it feels like has been close this week. My first reaction, I mean, it's kind of like the last Seattle game, you know what I mean? In the paint, De'Erica hitting big shots. De'Erica came through. That's why they call her Mama D.
Yep.
You know, I had my player of the game earlier. It was supposed to be KP. She was actually the leading scorer, so
Yep.
I was halfway right, but you got to give it up to Mama D at the end.
Yes.
She might not always come when you want, but she's always on time,
There
as
you
they
go.
say. She hit it perfectly.
And you know what? I want to also give a shout out to De'Erica because she has not been shooting free throws well at all this
Exactly.
season. So those free throws that she hit were
Clutch.
so timely. Let's talk about Julie Alamond, okay? She also had a timely play. You talking about timely and being reliable. They were actually on the other side of the ball, and we had only like 15 seconds left or something like that.
Yeah,
Julie
yeah.
Alamond comes out with the steal. How explosive and important has she been for the Sparks run so far?
Absolutely incredible, and you know KP and the rest of the Sparks really feel it. I mean, we have two incredible players that played in Belgium for Eurobasket, won the gold, and now they're both on our team, so they know how to win. Julie Alamond specifically, though, she's such a great point guard, and she's so fast. Remember,
Yep.
Coach Roberts was like, they like to play fast. We want to match that energy.
Exactly.
Julie Alamond was playing fast today. I could barely see her coming up and down the court, but like you said, those timely steals.
Yeah.
You know, she plays big. Like, she don't care that Dominique Malonga's down there. She's going to steal the ball from her. She's going to go down in the paint and get those turnovers. It was huge, huge tonight.
Julie Alamond's doing all the things to get the job done. Speaking of Julie Alamond, she and Kelsey Plum were in the press conference. So let's take a listen at what they had to say after the game.
Go ahead.
I'll make sure Zoom can hear me. Hey, coach, players. Quick question. We saw you make a lot of adjustments here. We talked about how that last game went to double overtime and all that. What was the biggest adjustment that you think you had to make this game? Was it like adjusting to Dominique Malonga? Was it the new addition of Brittany Sykes? What was the biggest factor that you had to adjust to be successful in this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? Like, the ability to adjust. I think Sykes gives them some serious firepower off the dribble. You know, changes things. And then, you know, Malonga is so hard to guard. She's just so big and athletic. So trying to figure out, you know, I think when they go really big, we kind of went a little smaller with Rakia at the 4, because that, as I always say, the knife cuts both ways. They got to defend us. So it was kind of a battle of wills. Like, it seems like every time, it was like the last time we played, it was back and forth. You know, we have some great length too, as you know, but we're banged up and tired. And so I think subbing a little more with that in mind too. But Seattle's a good team, and they got a lot of powerful vets in that roster. So I couldn't be more proud of the team. And yes, I'm tired too, and I played a minute.
This one's for Kelsey. You know, 7 assists tonight. I remember asking you at the beginning of the season about, you know, how I feel like we maybe haven't seen your full playmaking game unlocked. You said, you know, your goal was to be top 5 in assists. You're actually top 3 right now. Just kind of how, in what ways, you know, have you kind of been able to showcase that part of your game a little more? Not just tonight, but just overall.
Yeah, I think it's super important. Always been known as a scorer, and I just think that I've learned over time, like your impact on the game a lot of times, because you can score, you're going to draw attention and finding people, and I think as you can see on the run we've been on, we're better when I'm kind of doing both, you know, and so trying to pick my spots, and, you know, it's tough. Like, we played at Golden State, and, you know, they put a ton of pressure on the ball, so I was, you know, trying to get off of it, and we didn't make shots and stuff like that, but tonight I was really proud. Because there were definitely times where he didn't make shots, but people just stayed in it. And in this league, a lot of times you just have to stay in it, and then it's like a 1 or 2 possession game, and anything can happen. I was just really proud of the plays people made down the stretch, and it's a growth moment for me too. Because a lot of times I was like, oh, you know, I'm supposed to shoot it, but a lot of times it's just making a play to someone else to shoot it.
Here.
For the players, can you guys just walk us through the emotion of Dearica's shot with 5 seconds left? Just how did it feel? How excited were you guys? And then for Coach, we've been talking a lot about how Kelsey is able to kind of shape shift and be like a scorer, be a playmaker, whatever the team needs. It kind of felt like her N1 at the end of the first quarter brought a lot of momentum and kind of changed the course of the first and second quarter. Can you just talk about how she was able to show exactly what you've been talking about tonight and do exactly what the team needed, scoring, assisting, rebounding, everything?
I mean, yeah, we're happy. I mean, we're playing for that kind of game, you know? Like, it's exciting to play that kind of game, and at the end, when you make, like, the great shot, the shot that we need, like, it's just, like, a great feeling, you know? As a team, like, you feel like you win as a team again, like, because it's everybody, and when we play like that, it's just, like, we have so much fun, you know? And it was tough for us at the beginning of the game, really tough, but then we came back. With the bench, we came back, and that's what I'm saying, like, when it's a team win, like, it's so different, you know, the feeling is so different, and it's just amazing to me like that.
Wait, she asked me.
Wait, let's try to stick to one question, because we have a lot of people want to.
In terms of KP's playmaking, I think, you know, she and I have talked about it a lot, and she's mentioned things and I've mentioned things. I think, you know, she's wanted this situation where, you know, she's going to get to play a lot and have a lot of opportunities, and, you know, leadership is hard, and figuring out when to push, when to pull, when to, you know, give it up, when to take it over, and you know, she just continues, it's a process, she continues to get better and better in it, and you're seeing the results of that, but, you know, she's so competitive and wants to win, you know, and I think everyone's on board with that, but like to Julie's point, when we're playing and you see the distribution of shot attempts on our stat sheet, that's the way we want to play. That's really hard to guard and hard to scout for. So I'm really proud of her and what she's shown in the leadership capacity there.
Hey KP, this one's for you. Dearica kind of mentioned it in the post game. She said she was excited to help get the Sparks back to Sparks basketball. Obviously, the road is not done. You still got work to do, but the atmosphere is so electric. The belief is here. Do you feel it, and how important is it to you that you're a part of that and getting us back to Sparks basketball?
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are our number one goal, right? And so I just think every game is super important, and again, really proud of the bounce back, right? We could have folded, especially early. But there's something to this team, right? We're young, we're competitive, we're hungry. And shout out to Cameron Brink. I mean, to come in and score 14 points in 10 minutes against someone that's just as big as you, like, that's absurd. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, you know, Dee's right. You know, we want to win, and, you know, I think that there's a ton of pride in that. And I've said this before, LA appreciates winning, right? At the highest level. And so, you know, we're just trying to stack wins and get in the playoffs.
Coach, they hit you with a 17-0 run in the first quarter.
They sure did.
You're down 16. You're down 7 with 2.5 to go in the game. You guys obviously come back and win. When you look back to the early part of the season and you guys were losing games such as this, you always kept saying, we have to learn how to win. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like your team has learned how to win?
I think they're learning, yes. And they're not flinching, right? You know, I think it took us a quarter to kind of get the let out from the game last night and the travel, and you know, you climb in bed at midnight, and then you get up and you got to reattack. I mean, it's emotionally hard, and these guys chose to get up and reattack, and that's learning how to win too. But not getting phased, not, you know, they were up I think 87-82, and Z hits a layup, and then call her number for the three, she knocks it down, and suddenly the crowd's back, you know, like, that's just learning how to win. Not getting, you know, the worst thing you can do is fear losing. The worst thing that can happen is you lose, but you don't want to think about losing. You want to think about just winning, next play, stay in attack mode, and you know, and then Dearica's, you know, she made a play. They kind of blew up the play that we were trying to run for Rakia, and Dee just made it great, and then hit her free throws. I mean, she was huge plays. Julie's steal at the end. I mean, everybody contributed. Just like what she said, when it's a total team win, that's what learning how to win looks like.
Last two questions, Ray, and then
Ray Morales for Tribune. Just following up on that actually, but how big was that bench play today with Cameron scoring 14 and Ray scoring 8, I believe, and Van Loo with the corner 3 in the second quarter?
Yeah, Yeah, I thought the bench was great. They brought in a ton of energy in that first half. Lou got it going. Ray is just, she was really, really good. She just brings a spark, and then, what a luxury to bring in somebody like Cam Brink, and she's still, getting back to fully cleared, but impactful minutes. And like KP said, to go 5 for 6. That's a talented player right there. So loved our bench tonight. And 15 shot attempts is great. That's what we want. We want that balance.
Lauren Jones, Lojo Media. KP, this one's for you. Just how is the trust in this team, and just kind of your belief in your teammates? You said that that was part of the contributions to being able to pass more and that opening up that part of your game. So how much has that grown, even over this last stretch of just seeing them win and seeing your teammates step up?
I mean, I think the biggest story that no one's talking about is Julie. There's a big difference between, I don't know our record with Julie going to Eurobasket, which I was like, ooh. And then Julie back, right? And it just, it helps me personally a ton. Like, selfishly, I was like, please don't go, because she takes so much pressure off me. She runs pick and roll, her pace is unbelievable, she reads things super well, and Julie doesn't get a lot of credit for her defense, her intensity, her competitiveness. She makes big plays. If you look back at our wins, especially down the stretch, like, Julie's making big plays, right? And so I have a ton of faith in everyone, but especially when the person that's handling from the top is like poised and centered, that brings everyone, just like calm. So that last play, like Coach said, it blew up. Julie just comes off the screen, hits D for a pocket pass. Like, that's a major luxury. So anyways, that's like something that we don't talk about enough,
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all. See you Tuesday.
Yes, great winning.
All right, y'all, we just heard from Coach KP and Julie Aleman in the press conference. KP had a lot of positive things to say about Julie Anwar from what we were just talking about. How do you think KP's game is now elevated because of Julie?
She can chill out, just like, you know what I'm saying? She can chill out. She doesn't have to do everything. She can, she plays a lot of minutes. Remember earlier in the season, she was playing multiple games where she had, 35, 40 minutes playing the whole game. Now she can chill out, sit down a little bit. And even when she's on the court, sometimes she can park in the corner, right, and let Julie run the show, right? And so that helps her game so much because the pressure can't always be on KP to run the offense. But when she does, things are great. Again, she was still the leading scorer of the game, 20 points. Dearica had 19 right behind her. Azarae, got a shout out to her, all those drives and kicks. And it's like she doesn't need any space when they kick it out to her.
So she's so long.
Exactly. And she just chucks it up and it goes in. So Julie Aleman is an orchestrator of that drive and kick offense because Coach Lynn Roberts loves shooting threes. She loves to play fast. And so it just feels like she just fits like a glove in this system.
So you are saying all the things that we've been saying on the show. So I don't even need to reiterate. Y'all, I've invited Anwar here. Anwar saying all the things because he knows basketball as well, right? So let's talk about the playoff picture now because people are saying it doesn't matter if we won this game, and it doesn't matter that we're on this winning streak and our after the All-Star break have taken such a turn for the best. What do you believe the playoff picture looks like for the Sparks?
I think the sky's the limit. I think if this team gets into 8th, which they could get into 7th or 6th, like we were saying earlier. I mean, anything can happen. But I think once they get into the playoff picture, because I'm a manifest it, I think they can beat anybody. They can honestly beat anybody. 3-game series, 5-game series, and compete in 7 against some of the best teams in the league. I'm not going to say, all the way, but they can compete in a 7-game series, and they can certainly win a 3 or 5-game series against some of the best teams in the league, especially when they're playing like this. Now, again, anything can happen. I'm not going to make any guarantees. I'm going to just keep knocking on wood. I'm going to just keep taking some blood pressure medicine, and I'm going to keep enjoying this great run that the Sparks are on because, again, this isn't my opinion. The Sparks are playing some of the best offense in the history of the WNBA. Point blank, period. Right? They nearly got 100 tonight, which would have been what, 6 out of 8? 6 out of 8, 100 points. So they already broke a record for 100-point games, 4 out of 5 games and 5 out of 6. So I don't have to tell you guys this is a really great, talented offensive team that can beat anybody. The stats show it. Point blank period. Am I right?
Y'all heard it here first. Listen, y'all are always on me because of my toxic positivity. You knew I was going to say that the Sparks had a bright playoff picture, but now the facts are starting to show. Show your work like your teachers used to tell you. Anwar, we're going to have you on the show more. I like your energy. You saying all the things that I need to say. Michael, when you out on vacation, just know Anwar is going to be your guy. But
Shout
before
out
we end the show, man, we talked about player of the game. You have one chance to change it if you want to. Who is your player of the game now that we watched the whole thing go?
Absolutely, De'Erica Hamby, Mama D. Again, not just because she hit the game-winning floater or layup at the end of the game, which we all knew that she was going to do.
Yep.
I was a little nervous, though. But it's because she hit the free throws.
Yeah.
Right? That was the one part of her game that was missing. She could hit threes, but not free throws, right? I'm like, wait, you playing like Luka Doncic out here, right? But she hit the clutch free throws, and she's an anchor for this team, the mature mother of the team, right? And I think that's super important as a balance for the energy that all the other players have. So that proves why she's the player.
So you switched to De'Erica Hamby. She is now your player of the game.
I will say real quick, though, it's like KP still did have.
She did. She
was
still
the leading scorer,
offensively was. But that timeliness of it kind of changed it for you. And y'all already know my pick was the pick. Again, I don't have to bet against De'Erica Hamby. It is a great just rule in your life. Don't bet against De'Erica Hamby. Get on that Prize Picks and bet the over because my girl is always going to show up, especially in high moments like this. There were a couple easy shots that we missed around the basket, but she rebounded really well, kept her morale up, kept her teammates accountable. So big shouts out to De'Erica Hamby for just doing her thing consistently. Emergency contact behavior. If lost, return to crypto.comarena because she going to be here. So the Sparks are on this is a one-game winning streak. We just lost yesterday. We're not going to talk about that because Golden State caught us slipping. That's okay. Gangsters mess up sometimes.
Every now and
We
then.
are coming back on Tuesday.
Yep.
Who we playing Tuesday? Is it the New York Liberty?
New York.
We playing New York Liberty. All right, so looking ahead to that matchup, I just watched the New York Liberty lose this morning over mimosas and a nice breakfast sandwich I made for myself because shouts out to the Responsible Degenerates podcast. I have a friendly bet going out that the Sparks are going to make the playoffs and New York Liberty is going to slide, so I was glad to see them lose today.
Okay.
But looking ahead, what do we have to look forward to get that game against New York?
Well, the first thing is they're going to get some rest, right? It's Sunday. They're going to, stay. They're going to get, some rest Sunday and then Monday. And when they come on Tuesday, to New York, not only are the Sparks healthy for the first time and who knows how long.
3 years
right?
almost.
Exactly. So this streak has started because they've been healthy.
Yeah.
And because they have all of their players, like Julie coming back from Eurobasket, she had a successful surgery at the beginning of the year. So I think that's the main thing. They have the health, they have the transition offense, they have the fast break offense, and I think they're going to continue running on a team like New York, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the last time they played, Brianna Stewart wasn't playing.
I don't think Stewie's going to be back either. I don't think we have a timetable on when Stewie's returning.
Well, shoot, that sounds like,
Listen, I think Sabrina Ionescu dropped like 30, though.
I mean,
so
hey.
we got to watch.
Right, but they don't have their full squad, right?
I agree.
We got our full squad.
Unintended consequences. That's what that's called.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, prayers to Brianna Stewart, but, I mean, listen.
They already at the top. Listen, I'm not feeling sorry for a second seed.
That's true.
I refuse to feel sorry for a second seed. They still figuring it out. JJ has returned. So this New York Liberty game will be a good time for us to see just how much we're ready for the playoffs. The Seattle Storm game was great. We match up great against them, but we need to take some big hits at the teams on the top. So I'm excited to see our Sparks play. Anwar, thanks so much for joining the show. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Anwar is on par on Instagram, on TikTok, on all the socials. Thank you so much to the fans of the WNBA for supporting because you guys really show out. You comment, you post, you like, you share because, y'all love this stuff just as much as we do. And so we want to say we appreciate you out here for all the love that you show for the WNBA and its explosion in our society today. So I really appreciate that. It's Anwar is on par. You already know what it is.
Hey, thank you so much for joining the show. LA Sparks Weekly fans, you already know me as DJ Treese. My same face will be in this place for the New York Liberty game. Make sure you like, share, subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on social at DJ Treese. That's at DJ TRICEY TRICE. I'll tap in with y'all on Tuesday.